Hey everybody, Sean here, and welcome to Revealing Truth. And special thanks to Mark Scott for sharing this. Today's recent clip is what we'll look at today, and it seems to be taken from this other recent video. But in that last video, he's just ranting and raving his newest prophetic nonsense. So I'm not really sure where the clip originally came from.
I'm not saying this to be mad. I'm saying this because I feel like I'm going to go to my advocate, Jesus. I have $400,000 to pay. And the only reason I took a line of credit is so that I could have this and we wouldn't have to wait potentially. Can you imagine still being in there, then this sanctuary done, and we don't have the money to pay for the AV, so now we got to sit there for a year because that's how long it would have taken. And I said, well, can I get a line of credit? And I didn't know what else to do. Well, you shouldn't have borrowed. Oh, then tell that to the prophet who said to the widow, go get some vessels, go get some vases, and borrow not a few. And it was sanctioned and blessed by God. But here's the thing. There are pastors that sat there and did nothing and were quiet for almost 5 years. This pastor went and took out a line of credit so that we could pay for all of this stuff. We have $400,000 left to pay. We are putting on a conference that still I'm wondering why you haven't registered. I'm not trying to rebuke you, but I'm saying, come on, when you have someone that has been a Peter, that has been a rock, you need to get behind it and support it.
So before we get into Hank's rant, let's look at the passage he's quoting and the context of it. In 2 Kings 4, we read that the wife of a man from the company of the prophets cried out to Elisha, "Your servant, my husband, is dead, and you know that he revered the Lord. But now his creditor is coming to take my 2 boys as his slaves." In this situation, a faithful man of God dies, and the woman is in fear because her husband owed money. And now his debtors were going to take her 2 boys as slaves because she couldn't pay his debt. Well, this is far different than Hank making a personal decision to grow his church with money he didn't have and then expected the congregation's offerings to pay for it. So he holds conferences and can't understand why people haven't paid whatever they cost to attend yet. He's twisting this passage into a biblical reason to ask for support in paying his loan. He's instigating the asking of money, whereas it was the prophet Elisha that approached the woman in need. This is a slick move by Hank, and for those that don't read the Bible, they just sit there and cheer him on. He can say he's not guilting them all he wants, but he clearly is. He says he's going to his advocate, Jesus. But if he was, then he should be doing this in private and trusting God, not announcing it to the congregation and then using the story in 2 Kings to support other people helping him. This is a great passage, though. The prophet Elisha asked this woman what she has in her home, and she says nothing but a small jar of olive oil. So Elisha tells her to ask her neighbors for empty jars, and not just a few. Then she's told to go inside and shut the door behind her and her sons, and to pour oil into all the jars, and as each one is filled, put it to the side. Stories like this remind me of food multiplying for the feeding of the 5,000, or Jesus turning water into wine. So they kept bringing her jars, and she kept on pouring. And when they were all full, she asked for another one. But when the jars were all full, the oil stopped flowing. She was then told to go and sell the oil to pay the debt, and whatever was left over, her sons could live off. Wow, now that's an awesome miracle blessing of God. And this story shows how important faith is and trusting in God. Unfortunately, Hank Kunneman considers himself a prophet and seems to be using this story as some way to coax his congregation into giving. Hank isn't trusting in God to help in the situation at all. It sounds more like he's lost his trust in God providing and is now groveling to his crowd to help instead. But hey, maybe that's just my perception. But I don't think I'm alone on this one. Anyhow, I believe this is just one more of many reasons Mr. Kunneman should be avoided. but what about you? Please leave your thoughts in the comments below, and until next time, take care and God bless.